Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is Garcelle Beauvais' theory about what's really going on between Kyle Richards and Morgan Wade. But the bigger question is, does anybody actually care? So, not about Garcelle's theory, but about what's going on with Kyle and Morgan. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. It's a free and easy way to support me and the channel, and I would really appreciate it. So with that, let's go. So this is according to Reality T. It says The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is back. With its return comes the need to address a few things, like Kyle Richards and Morgan Wade, seeing as things between them were so prominent in season 13. Well, Garcelle Beauvais was happy to get into the weeds. During the season 14 premiere, the chatter ensued around one of season 13's biggest discussions. Despite Kyle's declaration that she would not address Morgan Wade on season 14, she had to make one thing clear. Kyle told Garcelle that there was nothing going on. Now, before we keep going, I'll just share my insights. I don't think there was anything ever going on between Morgan Wade and Kyle Richards. I have always thought that was a PR relationship. I think Kyle needed a storyline. I think Kyle wanted to make Mauricio jealous. None of it worked. The storyline fell flat, and Mauricio could care less. He's now moved out and he's dating a 30-year-old. So there's that. I also think that on Morgan Wade's side, I think her and her team were using Kyle. Now we all know who Morgan Wade is. Prior to this, I don't think a lot of people knew. Maybe if you're into country music, but not mainstream, you're being seen with Kyle Richards. She's on Bravo. There's the Hilton connection, the whole social media clicks and views. Now Morgan is like touring with Alanis Morissette and all these people, and I just think her team saw an opportunity for Morgan to become a bigger star. When you attach yourself to a celebrity who is more of a celebrity than you are, you automatically get the halo effect. We're talking about Morgan Wade. She's now going to award shows and all of this, and they're doing videos together. I think it was always a very much arranged situation. I think the way the arrangement came about is true, how Kyle says. I think Kyle was driving and listening to Morgan's music. She reached out to Morgan on Instagram. But I think from there, it became more of this sort of, let's play this up. Let's call the paparazzi. Let's have people questioning it, for storyline, for money, for clicks and views, for A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But I think since that dynamic and that PR relationship has very much run its course and it's clear they're not really together, I think now they're trying to just clean everything up and do damage control. They tried to end it last season right after the reunion, but because the timing was so, I don't believe in coincidence, I believe in conspiracy. So the timing was so coincidental. All of a sudden, now that the season 13 is wrapped and the reunion's over, Kyle is on Jeff Lewis being like, I don't really know Morgan like that. She's just another chick I text. Morgan's deleting all of Kyle's photos on Instagram. Kyle's wearing a Umansky shirt. Like, they're not being seen together. But then everyone was like, oh, so this really was just fake. They don't want that smoke. They don't want that backlash. Morgan's about to go on tour. All of a sudden, they're being seen together, going to dinners, going to safaris, because they don't want the backlash. So I think this was just Kyle's way of cleaning up the Morgan stuff. Let's just put it to bed. Morgan doesn't want to be on the show anymore. We can't say her name anymore. Let's just put it all to bed and clean everything up in a little bow so then Kyle can go back to her regular scheduled program. That's what I think happened. But let's see what Garcelle has to say. Okay. Of course, a recent trip to South Africa would suggest otherwise, and Garcelle was keen to point out just as much. Not the trip specifically, but the multiple things Kyle and Morgan did together to raise eyebrows. In any case, all the talk about Morgan got Garcelle thinking. So Garcelle Beauvais was questioning Kyle Richards' honesty over Morgan Wade. During the after show, Garcelle reflected on Kyle's comment about Morgan. In one way, I felt like, oh wow, I must be in her inner circle that she's sharing this with me. And on the other end of it, I thought, is she being honest? For her part, Kyle said she still wouldn't use Morgan's name, even though there were rumors out there. Some were true, some were not true. Kyle referred back to her reunion comments where she seemingly gave a hesitant no to the question of whether there was anything going on between her and Morgan. Back at the after show, Kyle said honesty was a priority for her while also respecting people that are not a part of this. Garcelle continued speculating. I think Kyle was, at the time, still trying to figure out her life. She also passed some subtle blame on Kyle for stoking the fire by appearing in Morgan's music video, going to all of her concerts, etc. I do think that Morgan came in at a time where Kyle needed a safe place of friendship, and I don't know if Kyle was thinking that Morgan was going to be the kind of friend that you're attracted to, but I think it happens. Now, again, I think that I understand Garcelle's theory being like, oh, I don't think Kyle is being honest about her situation with Morgan. Maybe there was something more there. This is the thing. I think that Kyle trying to blame questioning her sexuality with Morgan on the media, the media speculation, when so clearly Kyle and Morgan's teams were calling the paparazzi. They were setting up fake photo shoots, calling that grid on themselves, doing, sexual innuendo music videos together. They were doing the absolute most. Again, I don't think it was because they were actually in a sexual relationship. I think it was for clicks and views, storyline and relevancy, and basically playing games. But I think that Morgan isn't into it. I don't think she likes Kyle like that. She called Kyle a stalker. She looks very awkward around her. And now I think Morgan's team, they don't want the smoke and the backlash of everything being exposed as fake. So I think all of this is just damage control for Kyle and Morgan. I don't think it's a cover up of their lesbian sexual relationship. So I want to know what you guys think about this. Are you like me and you're like, no, this is just them trying to clean up, do damage control of their fake PR relationship running its course. It's stale, it's boring, and they're trying to get out of the mess that they've created for themselves? Or do you agree with Garcelle and you think, no, there is something sexual going on between Morgan and Kyle, but Kyle's trying to act like nothing's going on to protect Morgan? And now this is all just them trying to cover up their lesbian relationship. Again, I don't think that makes any sense. I don't agree with that. That's just me. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. And what do you think about how Kyle now is refusing to say Morgan's name on the show? That to me is a little bit ridiculous, unless Morgan is really fed up and is like, I will sue you if you say my name on the show, because nothing else really makes sense. So I wonder what's really going on between Kyle and Morgan. Is there, behind the scenes beef going on between the two of them? Because why is Kyle not saying her name? Is it a legal issue that we don't know about? So with that, you guys, as always, I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below and be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.